Hello. Allow me to start by asking you all to think about the best teacher what you had and what made that teacher great. My greatest teacher is Albert. Albert was a retired university professor, and he was teaching me math when I was 18. And it was 10 years later that I realized that he was not only teaching math, but he was also teaching essential skills to lead and teach people. And what made Albert great? Patience. He was always patient, ready, full with energy to keep explaining the same things over and over again. But he kept asking the right questions. And another 10 years have passed since then. And with our daughter at school, we see that even in highly developed countries, as the Netherlands, the education system is struggling with delivering on these values. And this is not only my experience. Let's look at the statistics and take you. He was quick to give feedback. We see that 25% mistakes were made of the students in a secondary school and has a private tutor. Ever. So there is clearly a need for help outside of school. Answers. What is even more worrisome is that 50% of the parents cannot afford a private tutor, and they need that. And this all happens in a world where the skill gap is ever widening. And how is this problem solved today? Well, the UK is paying on the job market around 1.5 billion in relocation costs, in trainings, and recruitment. So what if we could solve this problem earlier, at the heart of the education? What if we can help everybody to get a private tutor? And this is what my co-founders and I set out to do. Our solution is an intelligent tutoring application. It's a cloud-based solution available anytime, anywhere, provides the guidance and the feedback that every student needs. We call the solution Émilie. So how does Émilie look like? Let's take an example how Émilie is helping solving a physics exercise. So the exercise itself is about calculating the gravitational acceleration on an alien planet. And what we see, Émilie starts by asking guiding questions. And whenever the student struggles, Émilie steps in and helps the student solving the exercise. Pretty much the same way as a human tutor does it. How are we taking this to market? So we talked to different educational institutes, and we see 3 segments where there is a clear traction for our solution. The first category is high schools, the use case being the one you've just seen. The second one is about teacher training. Teacher training use case being that we help the future teacher to be at their best. And the third category, because we talk about guidance and feedback, is actually corporate training, where we help practically the guidance through pretty complex use cases based on real-life scenarios. What happened since we've incorporated? It took us 2 weeks with the start of the school year to build out a platform and be at the first school, at the start of the school year, with our first pilot. And it was another 6 weeks, and now we are in 8 educational institutes. We have hundreds of exercises and hundreds of users solving them. And based on our pipeline, we are sure that we will break the 1,000 user boundary by Christmas. About the feedback, our feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. We know that 7 of the 8 institutions where we are piloting are ready to continue with the commercial discussion. And both our teachers and our students actually love our product. We just have a couple of quotes in the back. So how big can this be? We are talking about the educational markets. K-12 stands for education from the 1st to the 12th degree. And these are huge billion-dollar markets. If we chip away 1% of these markets, we are still talking about billion-dollar opportunities. Who are we? I am Artúr, CEO of Enlight Ed. I've spent the last 20 years of my life building AI applications, mostly for telcos and banking. And as of this year, I wanted to focus on something a bit more impactful, and I picked up education. Satu, our Chief Commercial Officer, She's coming from Oracle, and she's leading all the sales efforts. And Valentin, our CTO, built the platform in the first 2 weeks, and he's been improving on that ever since. And our team would not be complete without our head of content, Kinga, and our head of design, Joanna. So Albert made a lasting impression on my life. And I believe that Émilie can make the same impact on anyone's life who actually needs her guidance. At this stage, we are looking for strategic investors. We are curious to talk to anybody who is passionate about education, so introductions would be welcome. But last but not least, please go and sign up at enlighted.app. See what we've done. See the platform. It is open today for everybody. Maybe you want to solve that physics exercise about the alien planet. I would not choose the Vietnamese content unless you know the language. Thank you.